came from Brazil. happy Thursday, everybody. I hope you had a good Wednesday and a good day today since last time we saw you guys. I hope you guys have some nice plans you got planned for the new year. I'm probably going to be doing some drawing and playing with my 3D printer in the workshop. But today we had some a request to do some practice on from Tuesday. Some people were saying that they would like to learn a little bit more on maybe helping out with the anatomy. It was children's illustration, was pretty simple. It didn't have to have too much going to it, and they were asking for some other tips on how to improve your drawing for like the human anatomy and whatnot. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to do some gesture drawing is what we're going to do, and it's not going to be as detailed as the others. Matter of fact, I have a couple of grab one of my sketchbook. This is just a sketchbook. As you can see, there's stuff that's just, it's all quick, little tiny pieces that you have. I mean, even small little pieces like that for gestures and quick shots for that. I'm actually going to use my sketchbook today. And this is just to help practice on getting a pose correct, having the depth for the foreshortening. As you can see, like how big my hand looks now compared to this hand. That's foreshortening on it. And how to basically lay it out to where you have proper anatomy throughout. So let me get my glove on. By the way, also the Crazy Quilter, she did the challenge yesterday. Let me pop her picture up on the screen here. There we go, and she sent me in the picture that we did from Tuesday of that. So that's actually a really good job on that one. I really like it. It had a nice piece to it. Came out looking really well. I appreciate you sending it. I appreciate you hanging out and drawing with us. I'm going to drop this down a little bit, and we're going to put this down here. There we go. Just for a moment. So, let's see here. It's in the middle of working on a 3D printer, so I kind of catching up on things. Let's see. So, Frontier Man. Hey, I'm watching. Nice to see you, Frontier Man. As you can see, let me transition this over. And there we go. There you go, from the Crazy Quilter. Hey, Crazy Quilter. I was just putting up your picture on the screen there so that way everybody can see the work from the challenge you did. You did a good job on that. Excellent job on mapping everybody out and making it match. Let me see. Actually, let me see if I can. I'm gonna make that a little bigger. Let's see if I can do that. That way everybody can. Let's do it. There we go. That way. Now you can see it a little bit bigger. So anyway. That's what we're gonna play with. What we're gonna do today. This was a children's illustration thing. It was really close on having similarities for proper anatomy and pieces to it. You could have a little bit of fudging, as you could say, with it, and it would still come out just perfectly fine because actually it is a cartoon. So there's going to be a little bit of exaggerations of things. Today what we're going to do is we're going to work on some practicing for actual gesture drawing. It's not going to be like to the detail what we see here, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to put some reference images up. I'll put them up. They'll come up around by the chat screen, I think is where I have them at. And we're going to take some of these references. These are of just poses that people have done, and I'm going to show you how you can break it down and work it as just a quick sketch for a gesture drawing, so you can kind of come up with the pose and the position that you want to have first before you can do the detail on it, basically. And that's the whole point to it. Eventually you'll get faster and faster, and you'll improve on it to where you'll be able to do gesture drawing a little bit quicker. This isn't going to be something that's going to be just totally detailed, but anyway, Crazy Clip, that was an awesome job you did on that. I really like it. I'm glad you turned that in. Thank you for hanging out and accepting the challenge with that. Let me go ahead and move that over. I'm actually going to see if I can. There we go. Let me just do it to where it's all live. So I should be able to go to my photo viewer. And let's see if I did this right. Boop. There we go. We should have a little image there on the left side. I think I'll pop them up here. And I think I should be able to go between a couple of these. Let me see. We have that one. I think we'll go ahead and we'll start with that one. And I'll bring them over, drag them over a little bit that way. We should be able to see him. Okay. Can you guys see that picture okay also? Does it come out pretty decent for you guys to be able to see? I want to make sure it's big enough for you guys to see it as well. But we're going to work with this for a gesture drawing and stuff. I'm actually going to have to put him up. Let me put him off to the right side here and see if I can do this to where I can see him. Perfect. And I can see the chat messages. Alright, it's been years since did any drawing. Oh, very good. I'm glad you picked up the pencil and you actually enjoyed it and tried it. It's always fun to do. Okay. So I got my chat window where I can see you guys. I got the image for the gesture drawing. What we're going to do is this guy, when you look at him, you're going to see a lot of detail on it first. And it does look a little bit daunting. But when you see what I'm going to do with it, we're going to break it down, and this is how you're going to improve on it to where the guy doesn't look like he's contorting in a bad way. So basically what I'm going to start is I'm going to do a simple little circle, almost like an egg. Doesn't have to be big. For the face, I'm going to be working on his head, so this for his face and stuff, or the side profile shot of it. So we're going to have that. So what we're going to do then is we're going to basically show how his face is going, the positioning of his face, the direction it's going. He's got his ear. Okay. And then what we're going to do here is, if you look at the way his neck and the way his torso kind of curves, so it kind of runs that way. So we're going to just do a simple line like that to kind of give us a map to start with. So we're going to do that. And the way his shoulders are, when you look at his shoulders, you'll see that his shoulders are at a slight tilt. So his left shoulder, it's his left shoulder, is a little bit raised compared to his right shoulder. And the way his chin is actually pushed down a little bit. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to give us a little line, a little line for the path for the, for the tops of the shoulders, and a little bit below will be where the collarbone area is at. That he has his hand in front of him. So I'm doing this really slow. What will happen is you'll eventually get to it to where it'll be a little bit quicker. Actually, let me see if I can put that in front, because probably the image is getting in the way. Let me see. I might be able to put him. Maybe I'll put him over here. There we go. That way you guys can see him even with the chat window in the way. There we go. Let me just pop him back up. See how that came out. That looks okay. Alright, so you can see my page, you can see the image. We're okay though, and I can see everybody's chat. So we have the basic area for how he's going to run. So when you look at it, his neck runs down his torso, and then that leg that drops down, so we can actually bring it and we can just throw a line out that way. It doesn't have to be in there, it's just like I said, it's a quick line. We have his shoulder area here. A simple way to look is if you look at the size of the head and you bring it down one, this next line that's basically going to be here, that's basically going to be the nipple line. That's going to be the area that you can see on the nipple line for that. So you do that, you bring it down one more, and that comes to just about where his hips will be. It's a simple way to do it. So, and his hips, being he's got the right leg is lifted up, it's going to have a change of an angle. So it's going to be like that. Do is we can easily do another egg shape for his torso, and I mean it's a man. His rib cage does not go up nearly as high, so it's got a little bit of a broader feel to it. And then also it runs up a little bit, a slight area up to the neck. So that's a nice way you can do for doing the torso area. And then the way his hips are, simple little oval area. Guy's hips aren't as wide as a woman's, so they actually follow a more slender area to it, as for the female anatomy. So it'll be just something like so. Okay. Now we'll have also for a split for the legs, we'll have the actual joint here for the hip, the part for where the ball joint for the femur runs down. It'll basically come down. We're going to run it there, do a little circle that for the kneecap area. And this kind of just has a very ever so slight bend. It's almost a perfect line to it, but not quite. Kind of follows the golden ratio. And then, of course, we'll do a little wedge for the foot. Now, like I said, I'm doing this real slow so that way you can get the grasp of it. Because these guys, I usually want to do gesture drawing and sketches, they're not this big. They're a lot smaller. They're a lot quicker. And so I'll do it this way, and then I'll show you how quickly, how I do it for the size that I do. But I'm doing it this big so that way you can see it easily and everything. So just know that doesn't have to be going this slow. What you're also going to look is you're going to look at the body as a whole. So we're going to have his shoulders up here. So follow the shoulder line. So this one's up higher, that one's lower. His left arm is interesting because his left arm actually isn't straight down, it's actually pulled to the back. So that way, it's instead of it foreshortening this way to where the hand is bigger, it's actually going away to where it's going to be a little bit smaller. So we're actually going to, it's where before the arm, when it comes down to about to the bottom of the rib cage. But because he's got it partly going back, it's only going to go about halfway up. Then it's going to have this other form. It's going to be slightly shorter. So we're going to have that same length. When I do this, I'm not actually putting the pencil down. I'm actually putting it there to there, and I'm getting that same distance feel. So when I slide my hand down, I can do this, and I can sort of like a quick measure. So we have that, and then of course we'll do a little simple block out for the hand. Nothing too crazy. That's all it is. Real something simple. Now the other part here is the arm. The arm is not straight to the side. It's actually got a little bit of a forward piece to it. So, you see how my arm is right now, how my hand is over the collarbone the same way? If you take your arm, you can actually see the same way how it runs across. So, wrist is still going to the shoulder point. See? Wrist, shoulder point. So, if you look at it straight like that, so that means he's got it forward a little bit. So this is going to look a little bit bigger than what it usually look if it was sitting next to the actual torso. So what we'll do is we'll take that, and being this is slightly forward, you can actually take your fingers like this, or you can actually take your pencil and take a guide for your pencil area and just kind of hit like that, and you can find the elbow portion. Being slightly forward, he's going to actually have his wrist is going to be a little bit further forward of his shoulder. You see how it actually sits further forward of the shoulder? And then of course you're going to have the hand. Just put it as a block. And now the right leg. The right leg comes up. And we're going to have it to where it's not completely parallel like horizontal to the actual the camera image. It's come slightly higher. And what we're going to do is if you take this and you put this to there, you'll notice that it actually does slide all the way out that way. Because if you also look at the picture on it, you'll see that his knee is actually beyond. So we sort of have that same little opening when you look at the image, the negative space there as well. So it's giving that same piece. He has a slight drop, same way. And then he's got his ankle. And then he's got, you can break this in two for the ball, or the heel, and then here's the ball. So, real simple. We're not going too crazy in the detail. We kind of got him mapped out, a simple little basic skeleton. This is the stick figure portion of it. Everybody says all they can do is draw stick figures. Well, with this stick figure, you're going to be able to keep going further and further with it. So, we got that. If you look at where his eyes are, the way his head is tilted down to his... Brian, howdy, looking good. Thanks, brother. Yeah, well, we're doing some practicing with gesture drawing and stuff. We're using a figure for a reference on it. And we're going to show how we can do it a little bit quicker for each piece. So, what we got going on here is with his head tilted down a little bit. It's not looking straight at his elbow, so it's kind of looking almost to the just above it, like just forward of it. And you'll notice the way his eyes are to his ears, his eyes run about the same line of the ears. So right there's that. It's a profile shot. Sounds great. Yep. Well, everybody's was doing. I had some stuff about people looking at the children's illustration, and it was good, but it was kind of quick, and it was a little bit advanced and stuff, even though it was very simplistic. But we're going to show how we can get there by doing this, and how you can practice and get all your form together. And also, you won't look like. This will help bring your character, your figures, a little bit more to life when you draw with them. So we have this. We're working on this actual cranium of it. So we're gonna add a couple little details in if you want. This is if you're taking your gesture drawing that you're doing, you want to go a little bit further. So you want to give him the cranium, and he also has a little bit to the back there. Then we're actually going to bring the curve of the neck, and you'll notice that right here where the ear is and stuff, that's where the other portion of his neck actually runs. And being he's got it turned, it's actually going to come down here to where his collarbone is. And the rest of it is right here. So, and of course, his eye line is here, so he's going to have a little bit of a bridge there, a little nose. We're not doing too much detail on this because we're going to move on to another one. So, and of course the way the cranium runs, you see, because the side of your head is actually a little bit flat there, so this is the way basically you can see for the skull. You got your cheekbone that runs in. So, back of the neck. Now, we have collar. See the collar, how the collarbone actually runs up to the top of the shoulder. So it's a nice little path that you can go, whoop, shoulder goes up to there, goes up to there. So we have the collarbone mapped out. You have your sternum area right here. And all you're doing, you can map it out real quick. I didn't see who was doing that. Wait, who was that? Oh, John, thank you for liking the stream, brother. So, and of course, this is just basic mapping out for the muscle structure now. Now we're getting this, we're going to start filling in. We got the pencil, we basically got the stick man. You'll find certain points where hard points are bones, like the elbow. You see how the elbow protrudes through. It doesn't have a lot of soft portion on it. You also have a little bit of thickness here for your portion of your forearm, and being his arm is actually squeezed together here, it actually fattens out. So it's going to have a slight little jump to it. Okay. Got the wrist. And the hand does not just go straight. You'll notice when you look at your own hand, it has a slight drop the way it runs. So we're going to run it that way. Kind of has it little fingers, runs that way, and he's got to have his thumb. Got your neck with your trapezius muscles. Okay. And you'll notice that his pectoral muscles, when they run up with your shoulder. So it's a nice little simple piece that way. So this one is kind of stretched out a little bit because the way his arm pulls out, when your arm pulls out, the pec allows it to stretch. This one is pulled back a little bit, so it's stretched backwards. That's why it's got a slightly different look to it. It's not, this is a little bit further out. This one's going to kind of curl and looks like it's rolling around, going around the rib cage, because we're actually not doing it flat. We're actually doing the curvature to it. So, and of course you have your latissimus dorsi, your lats, and these are your shoulder blades that you can see on his are actually protruding out a little bit because of the way he's got a little bit of a stretch. Because you can actually see the curl for his rib cage, and you can see his area for his lats that run out to his arm. Rib cage comes up. It's a hard subsurface to it. You can actually see where he's got like a little bit of a crease here. I'm doing it dark so you guys can see it, and then we're just dropping the abdomen area down. You can see how his rib cage kind of expands on this side. This one's a little bit more crunched in, this one's stretched. It's a hard area, but they do flex a little bit. You're just going to run this to his hips. You have his shoulder. His shoulder you can see a whole lot more here because it's not covered up and it's pulled back. Shoulder blade has 3 spots to it. 1, 2, and then a third one's further back. You got your clavicle area there, it runs through. Your pectoral muscle intertwines with your front deltoid area. It actually connects around to that area. And the way he's pulled back, he's got a simple bicep. Going to have a little crease there for where your elbow bend is. And he's got the forearm that's going to have a little bit of the bulge on the end of there that comes up at the front. So right here. So we got that. And we're going to have the thumb, which is basically like a little rectangle, and then being that it's a side profile shot of the hand. So if you run that, and you got to remember fingers. When you look at your fingers are the same height as the wrist, as the part of your palm. And I'll do it again like this so you guys can see it. So here, so you got this, and you bring it down. You see how it comes right there to the wrist. So don't give them little tiny, don't give them nubby fingers. You know, you want actually the thumb. Then you have your finger layouts. So, and like I said, this is just gesture drawing. This is typically a lot quicker, but being if some people have never done this before, it can be a little tedious or a little bit unnerving to do it from the start. So, and this is a good way. Just throw a couple little pieces there. You got your belly button area, and of course you're going to have hips. Your hips actually run up here where we got the hip line for it. So, got the groin area. And you'll notice when you look at the legs actually have all sorts of tendon areas that actually run through. So you actually see only a little bit of the hip here, and then you'll notice that it kind of pushes in, and you actually have the leg. The leg is pretty lean on this subject, so we run it here, down, and we're basically just building it out. Looking at basic shapes to it. You got the kneecap. The kneecap is essentially a triangle with the bottom, upside down triangle with the bottom tip just nibbed off. Simple way to show it. So you go that. You have you'll start seeing some of your hard surface with the bone, because you see here the kneecap, and then you see the front part of your shin. You actually see, you know, so he's got a slight curve, it looks like, in it. And of course, the way the calf muscle is down here, it actually runs. So you got it this way. If you look, remember how I was talking about the curves? So it comes out to here, and then it'll run back in. So he's got his ankles. When you look at an ankle from straight on where the foot is, the inner ankle is typically higher than the outer ankle. So you'll have this one up here, and this ankle part's down there. And of course, you're going to have your quadricep muscles, your upper quad. There's one that runs over this way. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember all the names of I used to remember all of them. But these actually run through. Hold on one second. For some reason my heater's turned on. It is not that cold anymore. So, anyway, we're back to this. And let's see. You can also see how the hip moves here. Let's go back up here to the hip. You see how the hip runs across. You can see how it's got a slight slant because it shows the actual cylinder-like. And up here is where you can actually see how his body is actually squashing on this side and this side stretching. So when you look at the imagery of that. And now we have, the foot. Foot comes down here. You can break it up to where it actually runs out. It's not flat on the end. And then you also have the heel. And then you have your toes. Don't forget there's 5 of them. So, simplest position that way. You got his groin area. Let me see if I can. The way his leg is showing, you notice how his pants actually kind of roll down a little bit and then up. Which looks like if you look at the image, the way that pant is, it's not curving around this way. If it was doing like this line, like this that would show that the leg is actually is coming forward. So it's actually a little bit closer towards you. But it's not. It's actually kind of down and a little bit back. That's the reason why it's got that type of curvature on it. Just like the leg, that's the right leg that's out, you'll notice that that one actually curves down this way. And that's because it's got a slight deviation away from your horizontal, from being straight flat. It's actually more tilted. The knee is further behind the torso area, so it's pointing away from the camera slightly. So, and of course we can just do simple lines here to connect it to the knees, the kneecap. And like I said, these are not made to be, so cleaned up lines, everything. That's why you don't really see me using my kneaded eraser for stuff. This is more just to get the look and positioning down that you want for it. You have your upper quad that's right up here. It's actually the way it runs in. Let's go ahead and put his pant leg, his other leg, pant leg up in here. And we're gonna, the knee, you'll notice from the side profile, it is not like this. It's not just a sharp object. It's got a curve to it. So it's it follows that shape, but it's got a curve. It does have some solidness to it. That's why it does have some sharp points on it. It's not soft and malleable like the skin, where you'd have some fat or muscle tissue on it. So, and of course it comes down, and of course you have your calf muscle, because your calf is being squeezed. Is being squeezed here with the leg. So it looks like your calf has two points on the back of it, your left and your right, the way it runs through on the back side of the leg. And then it runs down. We got it up. And this is going to be the inner side, and of course the outer, so that way you can see how, that's the other way you can tell that which way that leg's going. You see how the crease is this way, showing that that's further back. So, and then we'll take and do the ball. And we'll actually run his toes that way. And now this is a nice little study for anatomy on it. You'll be able to see that how the heads are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this guy's a 7 head tall. A comic book style is an 8 head tall person is what it is, to where they look like real superhero like. We're drawing just people from real life, so that's the reason why they don't match into that 8 or 8.5 heads tall section of things. But when you look at the stuff, let me go over to my camera real quick so I can make sure let's see if I can zoom. Can I zoom that in anymore? Yeah, I can. I can zoom that in one more. Perfect. So let me go back to the picture so we can use it as a reference. So as you can see, you have your hard surface here. I'm doing them dark so you can kind of more you'll be able to see. And they got part of your bone actually runs through there, and you'll have this upper muscle in your forearm, the lower muscle. The further show your area for the mapping of it, you can actually map out the way the rib cage and everything actually follows for a contour. So you can actually see how the ribs run up, and you have the way the pecs run. This is if you're looking at it in a 3D type piece to it. This is mapping it out to where you can see how, like the arm being it's going away, the curves here are going to be curled downward like that, showing that it's going away. This is not going to have too much curl to it because it's almost horizontal to the actual image of the from your camera view, your viewpoint. So. And of course you have slight curls here. And you have this one to there, that one to there. And this is just so you can see how it's actually a tube and not something flat. This helps out also for seeing how especially when you're going to be doing lighting on it. So you'll have this little curl, that little curl. This is just like practice. You don't actually, a lot of people won't actually run like grid lines through. So, and then we got a slight curl this way. You have this one that runs up like that, and then it runs that way. And the way that this guy starts to go down and he's like further behind, you'll notice that this curve starts to get a little bit more aggressive on it because as it starts to fade away. So, simple piece to it. Now, I did it this big so you can kind of see, but typical gesture drawings are like thumbnail sketches, what they call them. When they call them thumbnail sketches, it means they're small. So this is what I would actually look like when I would do it at a smaller scale. So I would do a little circle. I would run them up. Purely just getting the gesture down. So we'd have the bend. And it's more of just getting it's almost sort of like doing a silhouette. It says it's not going to be totally pretty like you would see for like a completed drawing. This is more for practicing and getting yourself set up to where you'd have the drawing. And that is a simple little gesture drawing sketches. That's what you're working on for when we want to. That's what we're going to do for what we want for getting our position out. And you can even tell that with that, it's not quite there. It's got the same feel to it, but it's not a perfect area to it. So that's where even I need a little bit of practice, and that's why I continually do gesture drawing practices. Okay, let's see what else. Let's see what other images we have. What do I got next? Okay, here's another one. You guys see that image okay? He looks great. Thank you, Brian. So this one is another one. We're going to do, now that I did a big one so you can see, you can do whatever size you feel a little more comfortable with, but just know it does not have to be, like that. It can be like that. Just as long as you can see, you start to get the main portion of that and the feel to it. So what we're looking at is we're looking at proportions, the anatomy, and the way it flows, because when you do it this small, if you find a piece that you like out of all your gesture sketches, like that's the one I want to use, well then you grab the bigger paper, put it down, and then you draw that piece out and you start to clean it. You have more space to clean it up. This is more just being able to get your hand used to seeing how the anatomy runs. So let's work on her now. So for her, I'm going to put her down here. Let me grab my image so I can see a little bit bigger. There we go. So for her, little circle, almost like an egg shape. Her head's tilted up a little bit. You can run the area for the eyes. She's not a completely profile shot, so you can actually put a vertical piece there. You can't see her ear, but I always put it in. And her neck, actually, the way it rolls, it actually rolls back. So this is the line that we're seeing. It rolls back and then down, and then it comes forward. We're trying to get that balance feel, because the character feels in balance with weight. Doesn't, you can feel the weight going down on the legs. So this is the main area for the weight. And now with this one is going to be interesting, because this one, her shoulders are actually still like this, the way her collarbone runs. So we're going to do this, and we're going to do the same thing. Going to make the little egg shape for the rib cage, and it's actually kind of hanging down a little bit, so you'll actually be able to see her rib cage, and it's a female this time, so the rib cage does rise up a little bit higher, where the sternum is at. Neck runs around the back. Got your shoulder area, so you just do your circles for your shoulders. The other shoulder is actually behind here, so I do it lightly so I can still see it, so I can map it. Got her hips. Her hips are actually here. We're going to do, you can do a simple circle that way, or oval, and you actually can see how her stomach, when they're bent over, it actually how it rolls down. So it's kind of cylinders over it like that. So I'm kind of give a little bit excess there to it, and you can tell that when it runs into her groin, it comes down and it follows the hips. So got her the glute, you can see, and here you can see actually on the very outer part around where the glute is, you can actually see where the hip joint, the leg, where it connects into with the ball joint for the hip and the leg right there. So you got that, and then you'll have one over here as well. And this, you can just figure, look at the leg. The leg, it has a good portion of it to where it almost matches for the torso. It almost matches for it. I'll put up some a nice little cheat sheet you can use for size proportions. Now this is interesting because if you look at her legs, the way her leg is, you can actually see that her left knee is actually pointing straight at us. So we actually have that small oval for her calf right there, you can see. So her leg comes out that way, the calf has this slight bulge to it, and her leg runs down, and you can see that her foot actually pivots, has a slight pivot to it. So one ankle, bottom ankle, and it's got a flat spot. You can feel the weight of that on the toe. See how her foot feels like it's kind of bulged out there, a little flat. And the other leg, you'll take from here. The knee is actually, that leg is actually profiled on the camera, to the camera view. So it's actually like a side shot, a profile shot. And that knee is actually behind the other knee. So we're going to use the same circle, and we're going to run that leg this way. And instead of it being a front on, we're going to see a back area where it has a slightly more bit of a bulge on the back of that calf muscle coming out because of the way the profile it runs out. And you'll see that it still runs straight down. That way you can see, watch it follow for the weight. And of course we have the calf, and then you get to see push that up a little bit. See how the foot pushes the weight there on that as well. And of course we're going to have the shoulder, so we're going to have one arms. It's going to run that way. And runs over to the wrist. So the same way here, one's going to go this way. Got about the same height, a little bit the same length. And then this one, the way her arms are kind of pushed back, like she's almost like her, because you can see her thumbs are pointing down. So everything's kind of rolled forward a little bit, the shoulders, and then these actually come back a little bit. We'll probably bring it a little bit to there. This will be the hand. This one will run this way, thumb that way. Got your one fingered, 2, 3, and the fourth one sits up high. It's hidden between the second and third. Okay, so, and here you can see back part of her lat, shoulder blade, because of the curve. Have that. So, rib cage area, nipple line. This runs for the shoulder area and stuff, the way the clavicle runs down to here and up. She has her forearm and thumb points down. Looks like she got 2 fingers bent and one out, almost like she's doing the rock on sign backwards. I'm tired tonight, catch you another night. Alright. Have a good night. thank you for hanging out, Crazy Quilter. We'll finish this one up, and the chest, the way the fact that she's wearing something, so they're not the breasts aren't actually going to be hanging down because they're actually being held up a little bit. But you still want to show that she is a girl. So you take the shoulder line, that's usually the way the breasts start out at, and then you basically give a little bit of weight to them because even though they're in cloth. And that's about it for there. She looks great. Thanks, Brian. So, what do we got? 742. Alright, so we did a little bit of gesture drawing stuff. So we'll move on. Let me close that up. Let's actually have a little bit of fun now. It's a good warm-up. That's type of stuff for gesture drawing. You're welcome. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate it. Let's see here. What do we want to play with today? What are we going to play with? Let me see. Maybe I'll grab a fresh big page, and let's see what we can come up with. What should we work on? Any ideas? What type of stuff should we do? Maybe we'll come up with a maybe we'll do a Happy New Year, like a selfie thing for Happy New Year. Put my sketchbook over here to the side. Grab a nice big page. Get this to where. There we go. Alright. Let's let me open up. Let's see here. Let's see, maybe we'll do a New Year's drawing. Okay. Let's see. Maybe do a... Alright, let's try that. Maybe we can do... Let's see. Let's work on... Oh, yeah. Look at my request stuff. Had a... Sorry, one of my computer fans just powered up real quick. Let's see here. We can do the My Dress Up Darling thing. There was one of the requests, like New Year's. We can go to that. We'll work on that one. Maybe we'll do... I need to get a reference picture of her. Let's see. Get an idea of her frame. Alright. We'll put, let's see if we can do her, and I think his name is Gojo. So let's work with her. Now, I've never drawn her before. So let's see how this comes out. Might come out pretty good. We'll see. So, neck. Do you mind if I co-stream while I finish off some code with you? Co-work, not co-stream. Damn autocorrect. Co-work? I don't know what you mean by co-work. Finish off some code with you. I'm not sure what you going on. Oh, just gonna sit and chat while you work. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, brother. Knock yourself out and relax, man. That's what we're doing. We just did a little bit of gesture drawing practice, and now we're going to see maybe we'll try and do a. Somebody also had one of the requests on my page here to try and do a my dress up darling, a New Year's type photo. So I think I'm gonna put. Looks like her name's Marin. I've seen this once, and it looks like Gojo's the other guy is the guy in it. So probably gonna do a little thing like that, like they're doing a picture. I think I'm going to try and have her do something silly with him, maybe try and put her on some bunny ears or something like that. But yeah, man, hang out, sit and chat. Absolutely. Let's see. Hope your day's going well, though. That's what I like to. Hope everybody has a nice, good day. Yeah, going well, so it's nearly done here. It's nearly gone. 1 a.m. here in the UK, so playing catch up on some apps that I'm working on. Oh, cool, man. What type of apps you play? What you work on? I don't mind if you want to say what type of apps you do, as long as it's clean apps. I guess you would say. I know there's some where they're a little bit risque, and we try not to put all that stuff on here. But if there's something that you do some coding and stuff on, absolutely, man. Let's see. It's really neat stuff. he's about a head taller than her, so we'll probably let's put his head up here. It's going to have a little bit more of a structure to it. Sorry, while I'm doing this, I have this Epic 7 game I'm playing on the side here. I'm trying to do some last minute stuff on that as well. So working on an AAC mobile app for children with autism and speech delays. So basically categories that read words out so they can express needs and such. Planning to get it all resolved and into the store this coming year. Very cool. Autism and speech delays. I have some friends and stuff that they have some children that are autistic. That might actually be something pretty cool. Neat work. Very, very neat work. So let's run this. Let's see if we can give it a little bit. Yeah, that should work out okay. And of course, we'll run it almost. Yeah, just about to there. That should work out. Formattation does. I'm a formula mentor dude. It does sound great. Yeah, it does, Bri, doesn't it? That sounds like it'd be a pretty neat app. I look forward to looking at that, checking that out too. If you want, man, send me a message or about some more of what you're working on and stuff, and be happy to post a little thing on there, especially when it goes live, brother or sister. So concept has come from my own daughters fitting into that category. So modeling the use cases that she has, but sending out research questionnaires so to get other people views so I can make it grow and such. Yeah, it sounds awesome, man. Yeah, hit the subscribe thing, and I'm also, you see, you're on Twitch as well. If you're on YouTube also, you can do that. My handle's the same for Facebook and Instagram. Send me some of that stuff on there. Thank you for following, brother. And send me some of that stuff, and when you get it close to coming up, if you want to get some extra little bit of, I guess, publicity or whatnot to it, I'll be happy to pop that up as well. Happy to help with that. That sounds like a neat thing. Have doing bunny ears. She's gonna do her little peace sign. It looks like there are tons of pictures of her doing her little peace thing there. Mainly out of frustration because all the big boy app players are charging like upwards of £50 a year. Yeah, there's quite a bit of things I've seen like that for some of the assistance things. It'd be a neat piece to do. I think it definitely would have the attention for a lot. So I wish you the best with that, man. And I hope that works out. And like I said, send me a little line, and I'll be happy to put it on. Give you a hand, help you out with that. Get you some extra publicity on that, and we can work out even something once you get, like I said, once you get some of this stuff together, maybe I'll put it on we can do a little overlay thing for it. So. Alright, let's find Gojo's framework. Gojo's build. Drawing looking good. Be back. Go and hop in the shower. Alright, Brian, we'll see you in a few, brother. Kind of has a slight, he's not too muscular. So let's put him like that. He's always looks like he's nervous for a lot of his pictures. He looks like he's nervous with it. So I think we'll stick with that. That looks about right. ahead of it. Alright, so. Oh, Robert, thanks for liking the stream, brother. The closer get to it being sorted. Lots of tinkering, getting voices and graphics arranged and published. Yeah, man. Oh, I know that feeling. Believe me, there's a... in the graphic designer's world, there's never a final. Those always look a little rigid. Slightly off, but not quite. This arm's going to kind of just be there. This will be sort of the same way, We're going to put it up like this. Adjustment on my, let's see if I can do that. Maybe I'll do that real quick here. Go to my art table cam. Can I adjust it here? Yes, I can. Let's go to configure. Let's see. Focus. Let's see if I can get that focus to come into play. Stick it right there so that way it doesn't keep blurring out on me. Alright. That's good. Perfect. Okay, let's start working on some details of her. That way. message. I did see it. Let's see. Lost my stream message. There we go. Alright. Let's construction lines. Let's see. They got a pretty good. She got a pretty good spread on her ears. So she's actually got like hoops. Looks like she got studs that run up. There we go. Let's see what else we got. Little eyebrows. Little eyebrows. Don't have really long ones, so a little bit there. Put it there. One, two.
I need your attention.
Let's see. Just go a little bit further. She's got a little bit bigger hair. I have to say, loving the vibe and the art you're doing. Well, appreciate it, man. I love my art thing. By day I do aircraft stuff, avionics, electronics, all sorts of stuff. But I also do graphic design work and artwork, a ton of it. So I can't keep myself still. And this is sort of like my relaxed time, and I get to chat with people other than aircraft people, because I usually talk to people a lot about airplanes and whatnot, and it's nice to get a little bit of a different vibe going on. And I like to keep it nice and relaxed, let everybody can chat and do what they want, say what they, whatever comes up. We always usually talk about it, all sorts. Brian usually keeps me up to date when he's on here of what's going on with any sports and any games going on and whatnot. And talk about all sorts of stuff, weather, whatnot. Come up with requests, little things to come up with for drawing, and I like to keep it towards a nice, simple, relaxing thing. Let everybody have a nice spot to chill. But I appreciate you telling me that, brother. So I need to put my other stuff up on here. That's my little New Year overlay. I need to put my Instagram and Facebook. It's all the same thing, Lenthicum Art. So it's just you hit those items. Also, you get to see some of my other stuff that I do. Some people like to see the other goodies. Let's see here. I think she's got her weather ear comes out here. She has some nice big ears, but it ain't too bad. What I've been working on is I've been building a 3D printer. I got one 3D printer I'm repairing. I got another one I'm building right now. So, because my daughter is wanting to get into dolls or airbrushing the dolls and stuff, so. But she wants to have other things, and of course you can use the 3D printer for all sorts. So we're going to have some fun with that. Let's see here. She kind of has some nice long wispy hair. It's pretty neat. Alright. Oops. Let's see if we can Let's see if we can get the eyes going up a little bit here. I might have to tweak that the focus on my camera a little bit more. Got this new camera for the overhead. It's actually tremendously better, especially for color, because we were working on color and it was hard to see like when I was working on this print. This was the one we did for working on for Christmas stuff. I got to do the background and whatnot, and then I'll throw the time lapse down on it. But that was our Christmas one with the Epic 7 collab with Luna. Make some neat pieces. Get a request you want to try or something you want to do, I'll add it to the list and we'll see if we can come up with something. I got Ollie. He sent one on Tuesday for Batman pestering Superman and Wonder Woman trying to lighten the mood. I don't know how I'm going to draw that, but I'll come up with something. We'll come up with a neat idea. I think eventually I'll get an idea that should spark up something pretty cool. Looks great. Bet talent runs in the family. Yep, sure does. My family's got lots of talent, not just in artwork. Got a mother who can do anything with fabric and materials. She's pretty dang slick. My dad is actually pretty cool too. He does a lot of neat woodworking stuff. He actually did he used to do it. I don't know if he still does it, but he used to do a lot of wood burning work too. He came up with some really pretty wood burnings. That was always a nice thing to watch. Watch him upstairs. He'd do some of his wood burning work. Nice, peaceful. Very calming feel. Let's see here. Let's see. To do would be I had a neat idea that we would need to grab next time they have a good deal, pick up a bunch of sketchbooks and start working on getting some more subscribers on my channel and stuff, and maybe do start doing a couple of raffles. Start getting to we get to a certain amount of subscribers on here. I'll do a sketchbook raffle, and I'll throw some stuff in the sketchbook. We'll send it off. So, I like to encourage anybody and everybody to to draw and try to draw. And ones who say they can't, well, you just need a little bit of coaxing. Ends up working out pretty well. Then they realize that, hey, I can draw. My little girl can draw too. She's actually eventually she's gonna pass me up and be better than me. At least that's what I hope. I have no doubt though. We all want our kids to be better than what we were or are. Looks like it'll be a pretty neat 2022 thing. Gojo and Marin from the My Dress Up Darling series. Actually, what I ought to do is I ought to grab my phone here and take a snapshot of it, because I usually do time lapses of all this stuff. So, come here. There we go. See if I can throw a quick little put that through it at the same time. Eyelashes. So we can run this right on through. Let's give that pupil a little bit bigger. Run that up for a little bit of darker spot for the eye. Gotta spend a little bit of time on the eye, make it look nice and clean. I've seen both ends of that, huh? Pop always said that the aim was, regardless of what you do, you just ought to do your folks and anything, and you've made something of yourself. And now I'm passing it down to mine. Yeah. Yep. I was very lucky. I've had grandparents, great grandparents that were around that I was able to infuse a lot with that. My parents were really good. So very, very blessed to be able to learn quite a bit from my family. So there we go. Let's see. And we need to to come up with an idea for an outfit for it. Hard to tell. It looks like she might actually have a bar on the top. So, but we'll find out. She's got a hoop on the bottom. There we go. Don't need to make them that pointy though. Alright. Nice little relax. Let's see. And oh yeah, we should got a thumb. Gonna have the thumb. Nice little fingernail on that thumb too. There we go. Working that in there. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll jump over and we'll see about hitting Gojo a little bit there. See if we can get Gojo's put in. Right up to this one. Coffee top-up time. Oh yeah. 1 a.m. for you? Yeah, that is coffee top-up time. I'm over in the States, so we're a couple hours back. So. A little bit of a panic about him. I'm back. She looks incredible. Thanks, brother. Yep, working on a little bit of Gojo's detail. The guy from the movie, the anime, My Dress Up Darling. Did a little quick look at it when somebody sent the request, so it actually seems pretty neat. It's like kind of like a slice of life romance comedy, which isn't too bad. Yeah, awesome. It does look awesome. Pretty awesome. But see if we can kind of make it look like they're having a picture for a Happy New Year. Maybe I'll change his eyebrows up a little bit. I haven't quite decided yet. Let's run his nose. Let's run up his nose. Probably a little bit longer, so we'll give him a little bit here. Let's run it up. That looks good. Any games going on today, Bri? Anything interesting? I think Thursday night's football or something. What do they got going on in Prime? Kind of give him a little bit of a nervous, like he's got a little bit of a nervous smile. He's really excited to be there, but. As we go. Football, I think, but I don't watch that. Magic lost to the Lakers, and then to the not good at all Pistons, doing good lately against good teams and not so good against the not so good teams. It's how it goes sometimes. I saw that they. What was that? Rams Stadium. I think it was the Rams versus Broncos game. They were actually on the big Tritantron. They were showing all the Broncos players and stuff with the sad face filter on it, like they have, and it was hilarious watching them up there. That looked like they're all crying. Of course, they didn't do too well, but I thought that was hilarious how they were trolling the away team. All good fun. Yeah, that was funny. That video, those videos started popping up, I think, on TikTok and whatnot of them showing that on the the big screen where they usually would do like the celebrity lookalikes or the act character lookalikes like the Grinch and stuff. Magic's next game is Friday against the not good team. Well, hopefully they'll be able to handle that one out a bit. Let's see if we can. Let's see. He needs to not. He leaves that looks like a blank stare. So let's. Because he is definitely nervous to be with her. I hope so. Yeah, that would be neat. Get some wins in. All right, so we can. And of course, we need to put his. All right. Let's see here. It's starting to look like Gojo. Not bad. Never drew Gojo either, so hope I'm doing him justice. Let's see. Coffee filled back up, ready for round 2. Let's see if we can make him look like he's definitely. Definitely got that nervousness. We'll give him a little bit more of a neck to him also. Let's see if we can back up. Gotta love. Boy, if I had coffee right now, man, I'm not a caffeine person. Look like an old King Kong movie. Like the claymation stop motion, all shaky. I guess we need to. Maybe I can look up maybe some New Year's outfits that would be pretty cool. Let's see here. Well, let's. She kind of. Let's give her. There's her hips. Maybe we'll give her a skirt or give her like a dress. Some of this. Got a lot of coding you're still working on up there? Hit it like that. So this call should last me while I resolve some navigation issues. Hopefully. Always. Be positive, it will. You'll get everything resolved, brother. Let's see, got that. Clean up some of these lines. Don't need to see there. Just a little skirt thing. Haven't quite figured out yet what I want to do for a top with her, but let's see. That might actually work out. Some type of outfit she usually wears. Typically has. Let's see. Maybe we could give her a jacket. Usually a little bit cooler in the New Year's. Cuff, bagginess for a jacket. Give her a yeah. So many go overheads, but been working with some new frameworks that I haven't used before. So far, so good. It's resolving issues I had when I wasn't using one at all. So yay, positivity. Yep, that's right. It's the only way you'll get through it. It's already 8:30. Jeez, 8:30 in my neck of the woods. I'm already changed over. I'm finished up with that one piper. If you guys want, to those who follow my Instagram and Facebook, audio panel on that one sounds phenomenal now. So that customer will be very happy getting rid of their old tired narco radio that was definitely giving them woes for trying to communicate to the tower and stuff. So now, not to mention they also now have Bluetooth and everything in there, so they have all their music they can do, stereo. Definitely a good upgrade for the plane. Working on an old Cessna 195 now. Going to be putting in a set of dual G5s for it. Should come out pretty nice. Let's see. What should we have? He should have. I think we're going to give him a collar. So let's give him a collar. Because they're out for New Year's, so that's what it's got to be. See if we can block something in here. Come up with something. Little wins are the best kinds of wins, brother. That's right. Remember. Oh, a little progress. is progress. It's like in marketing. Profit is profit. Some people just can't stand just having a little bit of profit, but still, profit's profit. So, we'll have that. Now, I would generally tuck these button-up shirts in, but this is, this is 2022. Not everybody tucks stuff in. Old school. So we'll probably do that. I think that's about the height that runs down to just to the groin area for a shirt if it's untucked. Alright. We might have to adjust that collar a little bit to where it doesn't look so 70s. Or maybe not. That style is coming back a little bit. But yeah, the little wins are pretty good. Just remember, your tongue's your rudder, brother. You keep having good positivity coming out of it. Keep saying you will get it done. It will happen. It will happen. So, great thing that I ever heard from was from Bruce Lee. One of his quotes was, "Don't make fun of yourself, even if you're joking, because your mind doesn't know the difference." Always be positive. Always look forward to the forward momentum, the forward change. That was a great little piece of quote that he did. Can't remember what show what he was on. I think it was maybe it was Letterman or Leno a long time ago, or Carson, I think is what it was, talking about how quick he was, and I think it was Johnny that said he was always not that quick, and he's like, "Oh, don't make fun of yourself. Not even joking." So, alright, let's see here. Find some more. Let's see if we can get these eyes to look really cool. Very nice. He's got a reflectivity that matches sort of that. Yeah, let me grab. I was thinking about color in this sucker, but I think I might actually, maybe we'll do it in pencil. Just leave it in pencil. Maybe do a monocolor. Just pick one. Grab my little sanding pad. Clean up my tortillon. Tortillon. Or rub pencil. This playlist you have is amazing. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I kind of been slowly piecing it together of what I like and don't like on them. And it's been slowly making its way together the right way, I must say. Like to keep it to where it has a nice little beat to it, but not where it's too crazy. Some days we feel like kicking it up a notch and making it a little more energetic, but typically just enough for some creativity. But I appreciate it. I'm glad you like it, man. Back, just going to do a little boys room now. Go ahead, brother. Have that PR. Or the old school gaming was a bio break. Don't know if they still use that terminology. see here. Too shabby. You know what? We might actually. You know what? I think I might actually do this in color. We might actually color this sucker. Let's get some inking down. Put some ink down on this sucker and run this out so that way we can roll it nicely. Get some of the pencil off of it. Lighten this up. There we go. Nice thing about a kneaded eraser. Let's see if we can do some detail here and get some ink done up on her. Go. Let's see if we can do this eye. Not making a huge mess of it. Let me grab my real thin point there. That way, if I have to, I can get this light clear. There we are. Perfect. Back to our point one. Got a laundry list of ones that I gotta finish coloring, but hey, just liking it, digging it. Probably won't get it done for New Year's, but oh well. There we are. Back. All right, brother. Wasn't too bad. We decided that instead of doing this all in pencil, we're going to ink it and we're going to do color it. I got a laundry list of ones to color, but they actually come out pretty well once they're done. We'll probably, I might actually do this one with watercolor marker instead of the colored pencil like I have been doing. So here's some of the stuff we've done from the month. Let's see here. Here's that one that we're working on, getting the background working on. This is one my daughter and me were working on. She was doing one, we were doing colored pencil. This one needs to be colored. That's the drummer boy that we came up for a request. And of course, this is a pencil one that we started playing with and we ran out of time with. And let's see what else we got. We have, oh, this is the other day from doing the children's style for a request for children's illustrations. you know, just playing with some of those guys. So, got a laundry list of things aside from the other things. These are just the live stream ones, drawings. I got all sorts of artwork we're working on, but we're going to get them down up. So far, we're starting doing the inking process and cleaning up some of the other pieces to it, and then we'll do some watercolors onto this effect. So we'll try and keep the oils to a minimum on this. Might have to use my scratch paper a little bit. Go back to my point 1. Does inking it make it easier to digitize? Oh, if you scan it, yeah, you can. If once you ink it, it's nice to scan it. If I was going to do something like that, I was going to scan like this one is going to be all analog, like these guys are analog. But there's sometimes I'm actually at my station that's behind me. I got a workstation, my standing workstation that I do my digital artwork on. And or if I'm working on smaller pieces, I'll do it at the standing station for the live stream. But inking it does make it nice and clean and easier. You still want to have a good solid piece that you can do it with, and of course, on here when I do a lot of practice stuff, I usually draw a little bit harder than what I usually would. And of course, using a kneaded eraser is good because it gets rid of the harsh lines. But if I was going to scan this first and digitally draw it or color it, I would actually be using, I think I got one in here. There we are. One of these guys. This is the Prussian blue and vermilion red sketch pencils. So when you do that, this color won't show up if you scan it or whatnot. It actually will. The blue won't be in there. It's sort of like the photo blue that the old photo blues they used to have when you would just use a copy machine to scan, type of deal. But yeah, no. Yeah, it's really nice when you go to ink it because it depends on the look you want for it. There's been some that I've done the pencil sketch on that I scanned it in and then just kind of did an overlay type of layer on it for the coloring to where it still had that pencil feel to it, wasn't so clean and refined. And it's when you're looking for that type of effect that it comes out nicely. So, but just sort of whatever look you're looking for. But in my opinion, I definitely like the inking done up for when I go to scan it because it's less artifacting that's for it, and less cleanup that I might have that might look a little dirty on things. And then of course the easiest thing is just to digitally draw it, like when I use up there, and I'll use Clip Studio Paint for that. I've been using Photoshop a little bit lately for some of the other stuff, and I'm getting that slowly configured. Let me do this for her hair. So, but Clip Studio Paint's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I will tell you this though. Once you scan it, it is pretty nice if it's inked to if you want to fix any of your mistakes, because trying to blend in a pencil look on off of a computer afterwards for doing the digital side of it, does make it a little tricky. There's some people that could probably pull it off really easily and really nicely, but I don't have that skill set yet. I haven't gotten to that level. So, as much as I like my goodies, they look outstanding. Thank you, Brian. As much as I like my goodies, and my electronic goodies and stuff, and I'm always building and working on those things, I still like my analog stuff. So. Alright, let's see here. Oops, getting my head in the way. I'm forgetting I got my new arm and stuff too on it, that I'm starting to do that, and I don't want to get my head popped in the way there. Far too humble, brother. I'm not at that level yet, as I said. Far too humble. Yeah, that's what a lot of people say, but that's what keeps me striving to do better and better each time. So, Keep yourself humble, and you'll always strive to keep improving on yourself, man. There's always a little something more you can do. A little bit further you could go. That's why, like I say, never believe that you have a final draft. That's a graphic designer's thing. Oh, it's the final draft. No, the final or the final. There we go. But yeah, there's some people that are just amazing artists out there. So. Being humble allows other people to tell you're amazing while telling yourself you still need to grow. Positivity in both growth and compliments. Yeah. Well, I never... There's been some times that I've tooted my own horn, but it's typically when it's something that some of the experts couldn't figure out and whatnot. It's mostly in aircraft and avionics stuff. I've played that game to stump the chump. And it's good when you're able to get a solution on it and you're able to get it figured out and resolved. It's just sort of like the coding. Like you say, you get your coding, no errors, everything works out great. So I'm going to have to pick my game up on that level and stuff too for my graphic design stuff or UX design and whatnot. So one of the other things I got to learn. Working on Blender right now, actually, so that way I can start doing some of that on here as well. So you guys can watch when I start doing some 3D projects, and eventually I'll get my. Who knows? Maybe I'll take one of the other cameras. No errors. Who told you that concept exists? It's a lie. Yeah, no errors for this one section, or this one little pass. I've had that. Not in actually in code on the STEC, the Genesis systems for the autopilots and the ASCII, because they used ASCII text and old they use old C code and stuff still for this stuff, which is hilarious. So, especially when they literally, you have to have a dongle. When some of the younger ones that are out there wanting to strut their avionics stuff, and they don't realize some of the older equipment and whatnot, they're like, try to configure one system, and they're like, what the heck is a dongle? So it's this old CAN bus box. You might know it as a CAN bus. And they're like, no way. Funny stuff. Or they point to my favorite one was I had another avionics tech. And he was pretty savvy and stuff. He pointed out to this little blue box that was attached to an autopilot, and he goes, "What's that thing? What's it got a tube on it for?" I says, "That, my friend, is a diaphragm." And he's like, "What the heck do you use a diaphragm on that for?" I says, "Well, that's so it can hold the altitude." It doesn't do it digitally? No, this is before that. Neat stuff. But it's always funny when they don't have an app to program something. And you gotta have your scripts. I mean, I'm no savant for computers, in my opinion, but I can work my way around them and make them do what I want them to do when I need to. Just enough to be in trouble. All right. That ink should be drying pretty good, so we should be able to start cleaning up some of these lines. Yeah, see, so you guys get that in there pretty nice. Put it up a little bit higher. I don't know. I got my new I got a TV right now for my monitor for this, and I got my dual monitors coming soon. That's sort of what I had for my Christmas present. So I need to be able to see a whole lot better than this TV for on this system. There we go. 8:55. Holy crap! It's about quitting time for me. Got 5 minutes left. Unbelievable. Time flies. We're having fun. Alright. Well, I guess we'll start wrapping it up for it. Pop my glove off. Put my goodies aside. Alright. Well, guys and girls, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. And the ones who did play along earlier in the game with the practicing with the gesture drawing, that's basically how I came up with this. Is you do little practice sketches and whatnot, and you can come up with, I've got my sketchbook so I can show everybody what we did in there. I'll grab a couple pages so we can just take a peek. Well, I'll say thank you for the company. Navigation is done. Thanks a lot, brother. Hey, I'm here Tuesday and Thursdays is what I do. I'm 7 to 9 Eastern Standard Time, but I'm trying to work out getting a little bit more in on it. You too, Brian. You have a good night. If you guys, I won't hear from you guys because I tempted about playing with the New Year's Eve thing, but I probably won't. Probably just hang out and watch some movies and stuff with family. But you guys have a great night. God bless, and we'll see you in the new year on Tuesday. And thanks for following with the Formal Goose Foundation, my friend. And like I said, once you get that stuff together, definitely hit me up, and we'll do some stuff with it as well to help promote it. It sounds like a really neat thing you're working on there. So have a good New Year over on your side of the pond, and we'll see you guys afterwards. So in the meantime, don't forget, let's create something together. Bye now.